Hello, Hank Allen here. It's been just about a year since the cell tower was turned on by Verizon Wireless, about 600 yards behind my house here in Eagle, Idaho. And I'd like to give everybody out there an update on what's going on with myself and our farm and how it's affecting us. Um, it's not good, but everyone needs to know this. So I'm going to start out here. I'm going to show you some radiation levels before and after from our backyard, what the microwave radiation was, and how this affected and has killed our bees, and how it's affecting myself and my children. And
My back deck of my house, and there is right over there is where that tower is going to be going in. And let's see what my current radiation levels are in my backyard. Okay, let's see if you can see this. Sitting on my back deck, here are the RF radiation levels. 0.01 volts per meter. So right there I'm at 0.1 volts per meter. When I walk over this way, it gets a lot worse. Okay. So now I'll take you around. Oh, look at that. You hear it even clicking here.
the radiation levels, my cell ling meter actually reads the total decibels that are being emitted from the close cell tower. And on January 18th of 22, we did a reading on my back deck, and AT&T, T-Mobile, and the other AT&T tower, it's about 2 miles away. Their radiation levels are in the negative 80s and 90s, which is good. The lower the negative number, the better. Okay, anything or higher than negative 80 is really bad. And here we have the Verizon tower where they're putting off a negative 45. This is exponentially higher than the 80 number. We can come and look at all of the other Verizon numbers here because they're using multiple input, multiple output. So they're broadcasting at multiple frequencies. You can see right here is the frequency of 751. They got some in the 2000s. They got another one in the 800 that they're broadcasting at. And obviously, the lower the frequency, the higher the radiation levels in decibel. And this is what's affecting the ecosystem in our backyard, killing our bees, and making myself, my family very sick.
Hey, it's May 8th, Saturday, and they turned the cell tower on Beacon Light Road on last month, and I want to show you what's going on in my backyard. So you'll notice this tree right here with all the white blossoms. Every year we have, this place is covered with bees, and now I'm looking around this year since the tower's been on. I can't find a bee. There's some little gnat things coming around. See if you can zoom in real quick in here, Daisy. You can look. Look in the sunshine. There's some little gnat things, but we don't have a bee to be found. There's nothing here. Now let's come over here. Come over. I'll open this up and show you our hive. We have nothing on there. Let's see, you back up, make sure you get the hive. Back up a little bit. Let's see what we find. Look at that. Zoom in on that right there. Look what it did to my bees. Those guys were all alive a month ago. You see it? Back up, let's come over here. Let's look at the hive. They're everywhere.
So I've mapped the location of the healthy bees in the trees you just looked at. And here it is on this little little ranch out in the middle of the desert. And these trees right here were in bloom. And you see it's surrounded by desert, same valley. And I've also plotted the macro cell towers. So the closest cell tower is a couple miles away, at least 3 or 4 miles away. There's poor cell reception in this area. Now let's look at the comparison. This is where the healthy bees are. And come over here. This is where my backyard is. And look at this. So this right here, let me zoom in, I'll wheel in on my map. And right over here, right where this sign is, that's where my beehive was placed and where they died. And this is over here where I was showing you the trees that are usually in bloom and the places I've gone at Afib. And later on, I'll explain what this red line means if you stay till the middle end of the video. But anyways, all of these gray dots, these are cell towers, macro cell towers. And look what's happened in the last, within the last year or so. Verizon has been massively rolling out their 5G network in the Treasure Valley here of Idaho. And these bees don't have a chance. That's the only thing I can see that's difference between the two locations is the cell towers.
Okay, same day. So here's my house, and there's the cell tower. You see that little pine tree right there? That's the cell tower. Now let's come over here. Let's see how the bees are doing at my house. Here's my peach tree. We're within an hour. I don't have one bee alive. Let's come over here. Hopefully we have something. This is a nice big plum tree. Not a single bee on my plum tree. Can't find a single bee. Oh, there's something right there. What is this? Well, there's one, but he's a small little skinny bee. Oh, we have one bee. This tree last year was covered when it bloomed. And then let's come over here. Not a bee on that tree. Oh, this honeysuckle. This thing usually, it's not honeysuckle, but this yellow is usually covered in bees. Let's go up and look here. This thing will surely have bees. Oh, we've got one little, nope, it's a yellow jacket. We've got a yellow jacket. No bees.
This is scary. This should be scaring each and every one of you. When our bees die, we die. We need these guys to pollinate our food. I'm going to switch gears here for a little bit, and I'm going to show you what's going on with our health, my children and myself. Last year, early spring, we were rotating our cows from our back neighbor's pasture, and we were a little bit closer to the cell tower. And at the particular time we were out there, it must have been broadcasting at a higher or a more powerful frequency, I would say, more powerful frequency. And this is what my daughter experienced.
And I started not feeling good.
Describe when you say you didn't feel good. What exactly happened to you?
I had a headache, and it felt like someone was hitting me on the head, and it really hurt. And then also, I kind of had like a heart palpitation. And then I told my dad or you, and I went up to the house, and I was not in that same area, and then I started feeling better after that when I moved into a different area.
Now I'm going to show you a couple clips of myself at the ER when I go into AFib.
Most heavy
sucks. Third time this week.
Oh.
Tower in my backyard. They put it in 6 months ago. I think they just turned it on. Hey, it's me, Hank. Back in the ER. I came back to my house. I've been in Afib now twice, 2 days ago, and then today. Today's the 4th, so it's the 14th. So May 14th, and take a look at my monitor up there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm in Afib one more time. I gotta tell you guys, this sucks.
So here we are today. We're in March of 22, and I've been in AFib well over 20 times. Been admitted to the hospital ER room multiple times. And I would say 75% of the time I go in AFib happens in or around my house. Relatively similar times. During the week, it's sometime after about 3:30 to about 6 is when I go in every time. And on the weekends, it seems like in the morning, I'll go in on Saturday and Sundays between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. So once I realized that there was a timing thing, and these AFib episodes were happening at certain times of the day during the week, usually in the evenings, and I was trying to find my triggers. I decided to see if there's an environmental trigger. So I plotted my AFib episodes alongside all of the new cell towers that have come to the Treasure Valley. And you're going to find this very interesting. So the dark gray, these are macro towers that you can see from a mile away. And then the light brown are smaller, small cell antennas that are usually attached to the side of buildings or light posts, or like the little cute cell towers that are close to the ground. But they put out just as much power as the large ones. They're just smaller and harder to see. So we've plotted these throughout Boise, most of Meridian and Eagle. All the large towers, I go clear up in here, up into Emmett. So none of these small cell towers were here 2 years ago. This has just been a massive rollout of cell towers, and a lot of the big towers just got turned on in fourth quarter of 2020. And then the 5G stuff was turned on, like I say, about first quarter of 2021. So you're going to find this crazy. So what this is my house is right here. And the red little heartbeat things, these are places that I've went into AFib. And this is a macro tower. This is a new macro tower that was just installed last year, the one I was speaking of earlier. And that's the location. And then here is my house. This is every place I've gone into AFib. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 places at my house. And when I started seeing that there was a timing thing, and most of the time I go into AFib would be at my house, I was looking for some kind of an environmental thing, something going on. Well, when I drew a line between these two cell towers, both macro towers, this is out off Highway 55 at the bike park, and the new tower they just put in, well, our house intersects those towers. So my hypothesis is that these towers communicate with each other in the afternoon when people are commuting home, or when there's heavy usage with people using their cell phones or streaming, or kids just getting home from school. And now these guys have to have a signal using that beamforming 5G technology, and the energy increases and throws me into AFib. So this one right here was at 5 p.m. This one was at 10 a.m. This was on a weekend, so that makes sense. It was on a weekend. This one again was 5 p.m. second story of my house. This one 10 a.m. on a weekend. 5:45, 4 p.m., 12 p.m. So that was again on a weekend. 120, no ER. That one was on a weekend. And then 545, this is my last time I went into AFib, okay? So before I went through all this work and started plotting, I had actually gone into AFib a couple other places in town. So right here, this is down on Highway 44. I was eastbound, passing Dutch Brothers Coffee, just to the west of Eagle, and I was making a left-hand turn onto West State Street. And I was in this left-hand turn lane, and I went at AFib right here in my car. I was parked there for maybe a minute and a half waiting for that light to turn red or turn green, and bam, I went in AFib. Well, here's a big cell tower out in Eagle Island Park. Here's a new cell tower they just put in, and I'm on that line again when I went at AFib. Over here, just a couple days ago, I was at the Eagle post office, standing in line to mail a package. And what time was this? This was at 4:55 in the afternoon. And I went to AFib. I plotted it, came home, mapped it out. And sure enough, the cell tower up here off of Dry Creek Road by the golf course and the small cell on top of the Albertson Shopping Center roof line up perfectly. I have a really good friend. Her name is Rhonda. When she heard about my story, she said she's just went in AFib randomly going in town just about a year ago. And I asked her to share her location where she went in AFib. Well, sure enough, she was right here on Eagle Road, just outside of the Albertsons parking lot, across from Zamzo's. So this is Zamzo's over here. Here's Walgreens. She was right here in traffic and went into AFib. So she got caught between this Albertsons cell tower and the one out there in Eagle Island Park. Some other places in town that I've got into AFib. A lot of times I'm down here right in front of, this is Lowe's Home Improvement on Eagle Road. So there's Lowe's, there's Dunkley Music right there. There's Neaters, Joe Mama's. And a lot of times when I'm going south on Eagle Road, I've gone AFib twice. I get stuck in traffic out here. And right here, it was one time, I didn't put a time on that one, but I know that was in the middle of the afternoon. And this one was at 4 p.m. And sure enough, the large cell tower there behind Lowe's Hardware communicates with these other macro towers that are out here in Meridian. And this can't be a coincidence. Let's see here. I had another lady, after she heard my story, she contacted me. She lives up here in, Banbury Estates, and she's up close to Chinden and Eagle Road. And she said that she went into AFib while mowing her lawn in her backyard last year. And she gave me her location of where she went to AFib, and I put that on the map. And sure enough, you take the cell tower at right there in front of Target on Chinden and Eagle Road, and you line that one up with the cell tower out here, Highway 44 and 16, and they intersect perfectly. She also said that this was at 4:30 in the afternoon. Let's see, one other place I've gone in AFib. I was going to Rock Harbor Church one Sunday, and went at AFib when I was up in the nosebleeds. And if I draw a line between the cell tower down here on Chinden Road, just to the east of 10 Mile, and one further out here off of Highway 26. And there we go. Now, again, I don't think I know a lot of people aren't affected by this, but for some reason, there's quite a few people here in town that are all affected by this. So if it's happened to you, I'm going to post this on the notes below here. And we have we're asking for people to step forward that have randomly gotten an AFib that are concerned about this. And if you're concerned that cell towers could have caused your AFib or aflutter or tachycardia, take a look at this. Here's a link to the map that I'm just showing you, and some explanations on the technology. And then also a place for you to fill out a questionnaire. And this will come back to us here at Idahoans for Safe Technology. Just give us your name, your email, your phone number, your age. Tell us a little bit about it. And then most importantly, give us the map location of where you went into AFib and the time of day. And we'll plot it here and try to put the puzzle pieces together. Also, let us know if you have any of these other symptoms, or if you have any other random questions, go ahead. Now, one more thing that's really concerning. So back in May of 21, I put a post out to my local neighbors shortly after the cell tower went on. And I said, AFib, heart palpitations, and Eagle. Do you know someone in and around the Eagle area that has started experiencing heart flutters or developed AFib within the last couple of months? My doctor thinks this is a possible environmental link to my recent AFib episode. I'm attempting to identify the triggers. I've gotten an AFib 5 times in the last 2 months. Now, at this time, back in May, I was suspecting it could be a cell tower, but I wasn't sure. So I didn't want to mention anything about a cell tower. So look at this. Here's this Elizabeth, 26 years old. She went in 2 days ago. And then it was in the middle while she was making dinner for her kids. And I contacted her shortly, back in May, I think. No, when was this? I contacted her a couple months ago, and she actually moved. She left Eagle. She moved to Emmett. She hasn't had any more problems. Here's Terry. Spent the winter in Palm Springs. 2 days after returning home, palpitations, shortness of breath. Here's Audra. She has Apple Watch. She looks like she's an athlete. She's gone in. Leanne, Banbury Estates, tells her story. Jennifer, Anne, Angela, Palmer, Pam. Look at these stories. Read it for yourself. And then we come to Regina. And Regina, she says that she's had experience being too close to 5G antennas and cell towers, and was having heart problems a while ago, and took her 4 years, $100,000 to figure this out. And she said that once she moved away from the EMFs, her heart issues went away. So you may be thinking, well, what are we going to do? We need cell towers. We need cell phones. And most of you probably don't want to give up your cell phones. But there's a way we can have our cake and eat it too here. I've been to other cities, especially down south in Texas and Florida, where they have the towers way up in there. They're about 200 feet in the sky, and they can broadcast much further with lower frequencies. And I have no problem down there. It's here in the Treasure Valley, where we have these low towers that are supposed to look good, but they're too close to the ground. So I think that these towers need to be turned off right now, at least the 5G portion of it that's using this beamforming technology. And then the towers need to be raised and put these antennas higher in the air and get them out of our residential neighborhoods and our school zones. We should not have cell towers attached to our schools or out on the light standards of the football fields. And we will have plenty of network capacity to make phone calls and texts. And then when it comes to streaming videos, we should probably look towards, hardwired connections, or using our Wi-Fi at our house to stream movies, and large bandwidth needs. And ideally bring fiber optics to each of our homes so it could be safely hardwired. So I think there's a way forward on all of this stuff. Currently, we're working hard to make this happen. And we encourage everybody to go to our website, idahoansforsafetechnology.org. I'll have a link below, and sign up and join our cause. And then also we're having a charity fundraiser for some legal work that we need done with our attorneys. And so we have a grass-fed beef raffle. Please buy some tickets. You'll see that on our homepage. Go to our store. Any donation would be greatly, greatly appreciated. God bless you. And Have a great day.